Season 2, Vampy D's. Ash is vamp-splaining. Petey's learning about the bros, Stefan and Damon. Pete-dictions coming true. Founding fam's got a plan. Guess who's back in the falls with their eyes on her man's body stacking up? A lot of people H for B. Now what's going on with these Vampire Diaries? The mics are hot tonight, Ash. Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast where a guy who has only seen one full season of the show watches this series for the first time with a superfan who has seen every episode and they talk about it on a hot mic. I'm the titular Petey. Let's just say I put the Petey in Vampire, but please call me Pete. And I'm here with my co-host and co-parent, Ash. Hello, Ash.
Hello, Pete.
Are your glasses fogging up from this hot mic?
Oh, yeah.
Ash, a question that I had before we started this episode was answered within the episode.
Oh, really?
So I shouldn't even bring it up.
No, bring it up.
Do werewolves in this world have super healing as well? Because Damon stabbed Mason, and then, of course, we saw Mason walking around and doing his thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, WTH.
Yeah, they hadn't talked about that.
No, but then about 3/4 of the way through this episode, we learn the answer.
Yes, we do.
Ash, people with super healing. Wolverine. Wolverine's lady counterpart who was in this show, right?
What?
Yeah, we talked about that on a past episode. Lady Deathstrike, I believe her name was. She was, now I'm forgetting her name in the show.
Oh.
No, she was Anna's mom.
Oh, yes.
That was Long Nail in X2, I believe. And I also think her name is Lady Deathstrike, or like Long Pointy Fingers, Miss Lady Fingers, something like that.
I forget her even in X-Men, but yes.
Yeah.
Now I totally remember.
I think she had super healing. I don't know.
I think she did.
Are we compelled by these people who are super healers, or does that kind of like lower the stakes? Because you're like, just like Wolverine, they try real hard to hurt him.
I know, but he has a really interesting and mysterious origin story.
It's true.
So I think that is still cool.
Yeah, it's just like...
But you're right, there's not as much of a risk because you're like, well, they're just going to heal.
Yes, but maybe the dichotomy, Ash, is that some of these super healers, yes, their bodies can heal, but can their emotions?
Yeah, their hearts.
Yes. So maybe that is where the drama lies.
Right. Summer, your breath is so smelly.
Our pug is not snoring in this episode yet. However, she's like smiling and like licking her face, and she has very stinky breath because she is on a special diet because she's very old and has bad kidneys.
But we love her the most.
Yep. She, does not have super healing.
I know. I was going to say, if we could give super healing powers to anyone, I'd give it to her.
Yeah. Would you turn her into a vampire dog, Ash? If we could?
Sure.
It might be kind of weird. She might like start floating around the house or something.
I don't know. I would do whatever I needed to do to keep her around.
Yeah. And instead of feeding her smelly salmon mush, we'd have to feed her like some blood.
Like cat blood or something?
Uh-huh. Ash, that would be probably our plan B, right?
It's true.
Season 2, episode 6. Plan B. The cold open.
Let me interrupt you for a second,
Please
actually.
do.
I had a joke prepared, but you made my joke sound not cool because you made all the jokes about the hot mic.
Uh-huh.
But I was going to say, this was not a cold open. It was a hot open because of all the kissing.
Yeah, I was going to say something like that, too.
But you were like, hot mic, hot mic. I was like, man, my joke's going to sound like I just was saying what you were saying. But I was singing it the whole time.
Wow. And I was going to say something similar. We are in sync.
Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah, a steamy open, I would say. There's some intercutting. Well, first, Elena and Stefan are in bed, smooching. Mm-hmm. And they're like, ooh, if Catherine finds out. So they're being a little naughty, right?
Right. They're supposed to be in a fight. They're not supposed to be talking.
But actually, Mason, Lockwood, and Catherine are also in bed smooching.
Yes.
I said Dobrev was smooching some hunks that day.
She sure was.
Because I imagine they shot it in the same day, which they probably did not.
And probably not.
Because, she had to do 2 different makeup looks.
And also, when she was Elena, she had a light pink bra on. And when she was Catherine, she had a black bra on.
Oh, that's how we can tell them apart.
And for other reasons.
Uh-huh. They billboard that there's a Lockwood charity thing, which we never really get any information. We see them setting up for it.
It's a masquerade ball.
Oh, okay. That's what's going on next episode.
Yeah, they talk about it, but yeah, it's actually going to happen next episode.
Stefan is going to help set it up, even though they all tried to kill him in the uncle basement. Mm-hmm. Catherine is asking Mason where the moonstone is. She's very...
Which is, I don't like this scene because in the end of the previous episode, he's just like, here's the moonstone. And she's like, yay.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, she's like, where is it? It's like...
Yeah, he's like, I threw it in a well.
It's like, well, I just showed it to you last night, you weirdo.
Yeah.
She should have been like, not like, where is it, but like, where did you hide it? Or,
or like,
how are you keeping it safe? Or, I don't know.
Or may I have it now?
Yeah. Thanks for showing me. Now, can I have
it? Mason says, I don't trust anyone.
Right.
So there you go. Intercutting back and forth, smooching in the bed. Elena tells Stefan no lingering stares at the Lockwood house. Mm-hmm. Because they're known to do that. Elena is still microdosing Stefan with her blood.
Yeah.
And he's getting high on it. Right?
Yeah.
If Mason gives Catherine the moonstone, they'll live happily ever after. What a dream that would be. Mm. And we find out Mason's motives later. We still don't know Catherine's. No. And by we, I mean you and I. Catherine loves Mason. Elena loves Stefan. We know these statements are true.
You think Catherine loves Mason?
No.
But Mason loves Catherine.
He does, yeah. And we find out he truly does.
And they've been together for like at least a year because they were huggy and stuff a year before when he got turned.
Yeah, I won't be able to pull. It's like Pacific Starland, Florida or something.
Yeah, I wish I knew too.
Imperial Beach, Florida.
I knew it was also Florida, but I do not remember the name of that little old town.
Jeremy goes to the Salvatore Bros front door, gives a little knocky knock.
Jeremy, who talks like this.
Mm-hmm. Wants to talk to Damon. They do some exposition. They kind of say some stuff we already know.
This is after the cold open, right?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, we do. We see the logo, the little swooshy, what's that? The ribbon dance in Olympics? Mm-hmm. There's the ribbon dance little piece of blood. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that happens. And then we're into the meat of the episode.
Yes. And this is when Jeremy comes to...
Salvatore Bros.
Salvatore Bros.
Jeremy tells Damon about the moonstone. Mm-hmm. And Damon's like,
Yeah, because Jeremy went on his own little mission with Tyler last episode.
Mm-hmm. And Damon says Jeremy is searching for life's purpose, and it's tragic.
This show, I don't know if you've realized this yet, is super emo.
Yeah. Aunt Jenna is at the Lockwood charity thing helping set up. These people are always helping set up stuff, right?
Yeah. These, like, especially the little kids, the high schoolers.
Yeah.
Aunt Jenna's, a member of the community, but the high schoolers are always volunteering. Like, that's their whole jam.
Every Saturday.
I mean, that's the way that they get to, like, see their crushes and whatever. They just stay volunteering 24/7.
Yeah, God forbid they go to the malt shop or something, or a sock hop. They're always got to be volunteering.
I mean, what else? Like, I guess normally what would they do? Just be alone at their houses if you're really in high school during the day?
Well, if you want to see your friends, you could go hang out at a parking lot. You could go hang out behind a store. Mm-hmm. You could go hang out at a baseball field.
Right.
Parking lot.
It's not very fun.
All right. But Aunt Jenna invites Stefan to dinner with her and Rick. And Elena will be there too. And Stefan's like, no, me and Elena are on the outs. And she's
taking a little pause.
Yeah, and she's like, that's not what I heard.
This morning.
I heard a little a little spring squeaking.
Oh, man. He's like, busted.
I've heard of spring cleaning, but spring squeaking?
But Aunt Jenna is pretty chill about it. She just, like, smiles and walks away. Mm-hmm. And she's not like, Elena, you can't have Stefan in your bedroom. She, like, really doesn't care.
She's like, I'm a cool aunt. Bonnie's back. Mm-hmm. Caroline's not coming today.
No.
Bonnie hates Caroline, Ash.
That's her literal best friend. She's so mad just because she's a vampire.
And Bonnie says that Elena is on Caroline's side. They're choosing sides. That's why you can't have 3 friends, Ash. There needs to be even numbers so you can team up against the other ones.
No, so you don't team up.
Oh, yeah, right. Sheriff Forbes, Liz,
yes,
is in the Vervain dungeon.
Yep, she's drying out from her vervain.
Yep. And, ironic that Stefan was put in there to be around a bunch of vervain, and she's in there to not be around vervain.
It's a multi-purpose dungeon.
It is. What else do they do down there? Caroline comes in. Hey, okay, she brings some food. Did you see that Forbes... She hadn't eaten, like, her crab cakes? What was going on?
Yeah. And, like, so many asparagus or green beans.
Yeah, she had a strange meal. I wonder who made that meal.
It was her dinner from the night before or whatever.
I know, but who cooked this?
I don't know.
Probably, like, Postmates.
Some maid that lives in the Salvatore mansion that we never meet.
Ooh. A vamp maid? Ghost maid?
Ghost maid?
Uh-huh. Dr. Damon says the vervain is almost out of your system, Caroline says, and then you'll be freshly compelled and back in bed.
By tonight.
Forbes, she says she's going to pretend Caroline doesn't exist, and Forbes asked Caroline if she's really dead, and I said, that's not something you can just ask somebody.
It's true, but I think that Caroline did say the right thing to get her mom really to care, because Liz was just like, I don't want to see Caroline. She's dead to me, blah, blah, blah. And then Caroline's like, fine, just ignore me. It's not like I died or anything. And then that's when her mom is really like, oh man, you died. That is sad as your mom that my daughter is dead.
I totally did not get that, Ash, because she was like, yeah, it's not like I died or anything. And then I was like, but wait, she did die.
Right.
I was confused.
Yeah, she was saying it because she was like upset that her mom literally didn't care that she died.
I didn't catch is that sarcasm?
Yeah, not exactly, but
I didn't catch that at all.
Just,
I was just
like snarky.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I died or anything. And then that really actually broke through to her mom, and that's why they started talking, because she was like, oh, well, what is that like for you? And then they started connecting, whatever.
Wow.
Come on, Pete.
Flew right over my head just like a whooshing vampire. Alaric sees Jeremy at Damon's house. Alaric is bringing Isabel's research from Duke, and they're like, oh, that assistant was hot.
Vanessa. Mm-hmm. They say her name like 4 times in a row.
They talk about the sun and moon curse. Mm-hmm. Jeremy is interested in the whole thing, and Alaric...
He's like, oh, Aztecer's cool.
Yeah. And Alaric is teaching him history outside of the classroom. And then I said in parentheses, he was a history teacher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But he was also so annoyed when he saw Jeremy there. He's like, what's he doing here?
Yeah, he got a big attitude.
He had like a whole like face where he's all smushed.
Yeah, he smushed in his face. Oh.
What's he doing here?
Mason may believe the Moonstone can break the curse. Damon wants Jeremy to get the Moonstone from Ty.
But we already know that Tyler doesn't have it this whole time.
Yeah, but okay,
But
Damon,
they don't know that.
Damon is like, oh, you're going to believe this little picture book or whatever? I'm like, Damon, bro, you're a vampire. You just learned about werewolves. There's a Moonstone. Why are you not believing this picture book that has said all the true things already?
And then he says that he would be even more stupid if he didn't believe it. Mm-hmm. He's trying to be like, yeah, I don't need to believe this, but I do.
He is.
Basically.
Yeah. Bonnie and Elena are talking about their relationship. Bonnie is anti-vampire. She's an anti-vamper.
She is. But it's just frustrating because Elena's just like, oh, you're a witch? That's cool.
Yeah.
And Elena didn't care at all. But now Bonnie, is learning about vampires and she hates them automatically. But I guess it's in like the witch like
code,
yeah.
But also, I just keep thinking that her motivation has to be Grams related. These vampires killed her grandma.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But it's just frustrating. Like, people can be accepting of you, but you can't be accepting of others. Not okay. Not okay, Vaughn.
Nope. Mason and Stefan are both at the charity event thing.
The masquerade ball.
Well, the pre-show.
The setup.
The pre-party. Mm-hmm. They make little eyebrows at each other. Mm-hmm. Mason then bumps into Bonnie.
Well, they make eyebrows because
Mason thought that Forbes and them were going to
kill them. They were going to be dead.
In the uncle basement.
Yeah, they thought he was dead, and then he just sees him standing there alive.
Mason thought that Stefan was merely ash in the floor of the uncle basement by now.
Right.
But no, he's around volunteering. This
episode should have been called Surprise instead of Plan B.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe Kill or Be Killed.
Which was what the previous episode was called.
Exactly.
But Damon says it in this episode.
These writers are just like playing with our minds.
I was wondering, I know that's later in this episode, but I was wondering if that scene they had around and it was maybe meant for the other episode, but they put it in this one or something weird.
Could be, or maybe they're just like, call back to last episode, dudes.
Yeah, it could be callback.
Because and then within 10 minutes, Catherine's like, I got a plan B, and plan C, and plan D.
Yeah.
This episode should have just been called like Plan D.
Right.
So yeah. Bonnie had a vision.
When she
bumped into Mason. She saw Elena. Mason was kissing her, and then Stefan's like, oh, it's Catherine.
Yeah, he's like, Elena would never do that.
Yeah. No, it was actually Elena. I know. Oh, no. No.
What a different episode it would have been if they had found out that it was Elena and not Catherine.
Well, we don't know. And by we, I mean you.
Yes, we know. We saw them kissing that morning.
I know, but in the future. Damon rolls up on Elena, tells her to talk to Jeremy, but Jeremy's right there. He's like, hey. Which that happens in this show.
Yeah, it does.
People are like, do this. Talk to that person. And they're like, hey, come talk to me.
I'm standing right behind you.
Jeremy's right there. And then Elena says, there is no, like, Jeremy and Damon, like, super team up. It's Damon and then whoever Damon is using, and then they end up dead, those people.
Yeah. Well, Elena does not trust Damon, obviously, because Damon literally killed Jeremy. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't want them hanging out.
Yeah, that is funny that Jeremy's like, I'm going to hang out with this guy who killed me.
Right.
Ash, have you ever hung out with anyone who's killed you before?
Absolutely not.
No.
And I never will.
No. The Salvatore bros, are grumpy about Catherine being with Mason Lockwood. Mm-hmm. And Damon says Jeremy is playing Indiana Jones. So Damon is quite a film fan, we're learning. Mm-hmm. You know, I like the Universal monsters. I like Indiana Jones more of a now I'm even forgetting what the Indiana Joneses are called. Temple of Doom. I'm a Temple of Doom guy.
He liked the Universal Studios backlot tour.
Oh, yeah. He loves Universal Studios. Mm-hmm. I wonder if he whooshes over there. And what do you do? Do you whoosh through the line? Or would that be suspicious?
You could whoosh through the line and then, like, pretend like you're tying your shoe or something and then stand up.
Yes, no. Here's what happens. You whoosh through the line, and then people are kind of like, huh? And then you compel them, and you're like...
I've been standing here for an hour. It's my turn to go.
Yeah, and then the person's like, Damon, you're a little short to ride this ride. And he's like, no, I'm not. Yeah, that actually is a true thing. I read it in the book, actually.
It's exactly what happens.
Matt and Ty are talking about Caroline. Again, she's so neurotic. She's a twit.
She gets called so many names.
All right, two things. One, why are they talking in like 1930s speak or something?
Yeah.
And two, has Caroline ever done anything neurotic so far in the show?
The only thing that she's been like is, hey, stop flirting with my boyfriend.
I think people are just like gaslighting her.
Yes.
I think she's pretty regs, and people are like, you're so neurotic. And then she's like, I wish I wasn't so neurotic. It's like, well, what are you doing?
I know. It's been like the tiniest things, but she's like when she said, I don't even get to pick out the ring I'm going to wear for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. And like little stuff like that, but I don't think that's neurotic.
If you had to wear a thing for the rest of your life,
anyone would want to pick it out.
Yeah. What if it was like pick
a hat to wear for the rest of your life.
Oh, I would have some thoughts and some notes.
No, but if someone's like this one.
Like even Iron Man has to wear that little flashlight in his chest. And he kind of gets to like choose to make it look like a little cool, like little
He totally gets
lantern.
to choose. Yeah. Exactly.
So come on, guys.
I know. Be nice. And also stop calling women names.
Mm-hmm. Especially like with your dude bros behind their backs.
Yes. And yes. I mean, Matt sticks up for her. He's like, hey, for like 1 second.
Yeah, but Matt is like the worst offender of this.
Yes, he is.
Jeremy comes up.
I can call my girlfriend names or my ex-girlfriend names, but you can't. Matt. All right, sorry.
Jeremy comes up with the Maryland accent. He rolls up. He's like, hey, you guys see the Moonstone?
Yeah, Moonstone.
Hun?
I know. I looked it up. He's not from Maryland. He's from Los Angeles. But sounds like he's from Maryland.
Maybe. So do we know if the Gilberts moved down south to Mystic Falls, Virginia? From maybe like Fairfax, Virginia or something?
Oh, Pete.
All right. Jeremy was doing research on the stone, but Ty says, I gave it to my uncle. And Ty says, I'm done with legends and curses because... Ash, you remember when you were in high school and you were like so fed up with legends and curses and you were just like done with them?
Yes.
That's like
everyone's like, you have this milestone in high school.
I think that I was...
Go through the phase.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little late. I was fed up with legends and curses probably like end of junior year. Some people were fed up like freshman year.
Right. Everyone blooms differently.
Yes, of course. Ash says these kids do so much volunteering. We already hit on that.
Oh, yeah.
But they're always like hanging up one of those, I don't even know what they're called, like a globe light, like the crepe paper globe lights. They're like hanging those up every single episode.
Yeah, I call them crepe paper.
Maybe I'm thinking of like the Canadian pancake. Elena and Stefan are texting.
Yes.
Have we seen a lot of texting before?
Not really.
This was the phone episode, Ash.
Yes.
Elena has like a Samsung or like an Android.
I honestly have no idea what kind of phone that was.
Stefan is
so old.
Is team iPhone. Mm-hmm. How can they even be together?
Well, he has a huge mansion. He's going to be able to get a nice phone. Also, he can compel anyone.
Oh yeah, he goes up to like T-Mobile and he's like, actually, I have unlimited whenever minutes.
Yeah.
Actually,
Put a lane on my faves list.
That's what I was gonna say. Actually, instead of 5 faves, I have 10. Make it so. Some good old fashioned phone talk. The bros.
I just was thinking about how I'm so old.
Yes, you're old by your phone life.
Yep.
I mean,
today
you were spinning a rotary back in the day.
Today I told my 5-year-old that Netflix didn't exist when I was little, and he was like, "Wow."
You couldn't watch any show you could ever dream of at the click of a button?
He didn't even think about like the feature of Netflix. He was just like, it didn't exist. Not like how cool it is. It's just purely it didn't exist. I'm old.
No. Wait till we blow his mind and tell him we were a Netflix disc family.
Yeah.
At one point, we had like 3 discs going in and out of there.
I know. We had a system.
We did. We would get like one new release, one Mad Men,
And a movie.
and
And
like a more classic that we were trying to watch or something.
Yeah, the new release movie you're saying.
Yes.
Yes.
The bros ask Bonnie for a fave. They say, "Will you be in my fave 5?" She's like, "No." Damon asks Bonnie about the brain burst. These sentences, Ash.
You wrote it.
Damon asks Bonnie about the brain burst she does. Mm-hmm. She gives him an aneurysm, but they heal so quickly. I was like, what? That's mean.
I know, so she just does it over and over and over again.
That's extreme. Mm-hmm. I thought that was going to like set something up for the future of the episode or maybe another episode, but no. The very next scene,
Yeah.
Bonnie is trying to move a big table, and Mason comes to help, and she tingles his brain, and Damon then knees him in the face so hardcore.
So hard.
And they snatch him up in the Bronco.
And they drive him away to the Salvatore mansion.
Ash, in Silence of the Lambs, the Buffalo Bill is the serial killer, and he gets one of the ladies that he cuts their skin off. You know about this?
Yeah.
You know about that movie? He cuts these ladies' skins off. But he gets one lady because he's like trying to get a couch into a van, and he's like, "Will you help me move this couch?" and she's like, "Yeah, of course." And then he's like, "No, you have to go in the van." So she is the one holding the couch, and then he presses her up in the van and then pushes the couch and then closes the doors. That's not what happened in this scene, but...
No, but it made you think of it.
Yes. Bonnie could have pushed Mason in with the table.
I know, but instead, she bursted his brain.
I know, totally different. That's what the lady should have done in Silence of the Lambs.
I know.
Also, there was a big white van outside our place last week, and I was thinking about telling you that because you were freaked out by it, and I was like, no, it's just a worker doing some work. And I wanted to come in from taking our dog out and be like, yeah, a guy asked me to help her move the couch, but I wasn't sure if you were going to get it.
I would not have.
And I would have to be like, his name was Buffalo Bill, and you'd be like, I don't get it. And I'd be like, he told me some lambs need to be silenced.
Is this the same movie that has the lotion in the basket?
Yes.
Okay.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
That's the only reason I know is because you say it in that same accent. Maybe I haven't seen this movie. I just know it from things you've said.
I do reference it very often, but I would say like culturally people talk about it so often that maybe it's just in the zeitgeist.
Yeah, that's what it could be.
But I do talk about it probably way too often, and I watched it like last year.
For the first time?
No.
No, you probably watched it when you were like a young teen, and that's why you remember it so well.
Yeah, and I probably saw the TV edit, Ash.
That's good.
Because there was some new stuff going on on this last watch.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some gross stuff in there. Caroline is talking to her mother about being a vampire.
Yeah.
And Caroline, I mean, Forbes is like asking questions. And, you know, education gets rid of hate.
100%.
Because she's like, as long as you have blood, you don't need to kill, Forbes is saying. Mm-hmm. And then Caroline says, it's my basic nature. And then she says, Stefan is a problem drinker, a bloodaholic.
Right.
Which I think we've even said that. Mm-hmm. That's his whole thing. But Ash, I mean, Will Forbes, I mean, we see what happens later.
Right. Well, yeah, it does. It changes her whole understanding of vampires. Mm-hmm. Where she's been totally against them 100% this whole time. And now she's starting to understand them because she's starting to learn about them.
Education kills hate.
That's my literal job. That's my number one goal.
Mm-hmm. Killing.
No. Education.
Hating.
No.
Which part?
Oh, Pete.
Damon and Bonnie tie Mason up in the Salvatore house with his own carabiners.
I know.
The irony. Bonnie.
Damon's like, this guy must be used to tying himself up.
Yeah.
Or being tied up.
Yeah, that was a cheeky little thing. Mm-hmm. Bonnie looks for the moonstone in Mason's brain. Mm-hmm. Not literally. The moonstone is in a well.
Yep.
Bonnie tries to get out of the Salvatore mansion, but Caroline says, hey.
Mm-hmm. Hey, how are you? Do you want to come with me to find the moonstone? No. Can I? Yes. Okay, fine.
Yeah, and it's awkward, and Bonnie, she has a phone too. She has a little sidekick, I think.
Yeah.
Bonnie asks where the well is via text. It's on the edge of the Lockwood property, just like literally everything else in the show.
Mm-hmm. The Lockwood property is just all of Mystic Falls.
Yeah, it's like, oh, where's Elena live? Oh, edge of the Lockwood property. Where's the McDonald's? Edge of the Lockwood property.
Where's the library?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Edge of the Lockwood property. Where's the locksmith? And where's the wood shop? Edge of the Lockwood property. And where's the property manager for the Lockwood apartment complex that's made out of wood? That's actually over on the edge of town.
So Bonnie lets Caroline go with her to the woods.
At the charity party, Matt asks Elena where Caroline is. Mm-hmm. Ty asks where Mason is.
Everyone's like,
Stefan gets a text about the well, but doesn't show Elena the text. Elena is now actually mad. Yeah,
Elena's mad this whole episode because she's all left out. Mm-hmm. And she's like, earlier she was so mad at Stefan when he wouldn't text her back immediately. When he was like, hey, I'm with Damon and Bonnie, I'll catch you up later. Then she sits on her phone like waiting for the text to just come in. Yes. And then it doesn't come in like 10 seconds, so she calls him and messes up that whole thing. And then this other time, Stefan's like, looks at her like, oh, okay, I gotta go take care of this. And then he goes to do it, and then she can't stand that she doesn't know what's going on, so she has to follow him. It's like, Elena, chill out. Trust your man.
Trust your mans. Mm-hmm. But doesn't she probably save his life by following him, or would he not have hopped down in there? I don't know. We'll get to it.
No, I think it's good she was there, and also it was good that Bonnie let Caroline come, because she could lift that
chain, that heavy chain.
So everyone was supposed to be there, but it was a little annoying for Elena to have no chill.
True. Back at the Salvatore mansion, Damon is torturing Mason.
Yeah, he's putting that hot stick really far into his body.
Yeah, and that's when I said, that answered my question. He does heal quickly.
Yeah.
So even out of wolf form, because I was wondering if, like, Damon, when he stabbed him with the knife, did Mason then have to turn into a wolf later to heal up?
Mm-hmm. Like, how long can he heal for?
Yeah, but he's just healing pretty fast.
But he does have pain, which the vampires do, too. They get hurt. It depends on, like, how much blood they've had, though, to be, like, how much they can handle.
Yeah, it seems like similar magic is doing both, right?
Well, yeah, they were cursed by the same person. That makes sense.
Stefan is going to the well. Elena gets there as well. Stefan gets in the well.
Elena gets to the well as well.
As well. It's a vervain well, and I said, well, that's terrible.
Mm-hmm. I know, wasn't that a big surprise to be like, he just jumps in, psh, and then immediately it's like, ah!
Yeah. And the whole time, with all this well stuff, I was just thinking of The Ring and what kind of The Ring joke I can make. No jokes.
Just watch The Ring.
Yeah. But what if Samara
Yes, I think it's something like
was
that.
down there in that well? She was like, I got the moonstone. That'd be scary.
That was so scary.
Caroline whooshes up. Hey, when she whooshed up, it looked pretty bad.
Caroline?
Yeah. Her little whooshing, that was a bad effect.
Oh, yeah, it happens.
Jeremy comes in on Damon asking Mason about Catherine. Jeremy has some wolfsbane. I like in these kind of things when they at least cloak the common thing. Like he was like, this plant is named blah, 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 blah. And sometimes wolfsbane. Mm-hmm. Because if he was just like, hey, I got some wolfsbane.
Yeah.
We'd be like, okay.
We get it.
We know about werewolves.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, it's a red rocket or something.
Yeah, it had a bunch of names, and it can do all, in the lore, it could be healing, or it can do all kinds of stuff, or it can be poison.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also interesting how these supernatural creatures, vampires and werewolves, are both injured by just some plants.
Well, Ash, plants are nature's medicine.
I know, but it doesn't heal them, it hurts them.
And plants can also be nature's poison.
Right.
Plants are powerful.
But they're so strong. But
yeah, that's cool.
I think that's interesting.
Yeah, it does remind me of a fact I was telling our older child just last week about how our bodies have antibodies against everything on Earth. So, like, even though I have not, and I like to tell this to our fourth grader, but even though we have not interacted with a duck-billed platypus before, if we were to get stung by its barbs, our body already has an antibody for that.
Right.
So, I guess the opposite for these guys.
I was like, but they don't.
No, but that's...
Unless they microdose, like Catherine.
Exactly.
And
that's why
she's built up her antibodies for vervain.
Every morning you see I'm taking that vitamin C. That's actually a little platypus venom.
Yeah. You always talked about how we should give our kids a little bit of poison every day.
Yes.
Build up their immunity.
Mm-hmm.
And by poison, a.k.a. normal germs. But now they're just inside and they don't get exposure to any germs.
Yeah, but actually I've been giving them a little COVID-19 every day.
No, you have not. Not funny.
Nope. All right, where are we at? Okay, hey, Damon has the Samsung, Ash. The phone
He's
episode.
not on the same phone plan as his bro?
No.
That's messed up.
I know. And also, you would think maybe Damon would be like more of a BlackBerry guy, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. But there was a big old Samsung trade out, as we learned about those in a previous episode.
Right.
Damon shoves wolfsbane in Mason's face.
Oh, it's so gross when it like is burning his insides and he's spitting it out.
Yeah, he had his mouth was too gross.
It was really gross.
Ash, the ladies have come together to save Stefan.
Yeah, because Stefan is in this vervain well, just burning.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
I said when they started lowering Elena down there, I was like, what's she gonna do down there? Could they not have just I guess he was too burnt up to just get a chain lowered.
Yeah, no, when the chain lowered, he was face down in the vervain, almost dead. She just had to swoop him in, which that's pretty well, you can do that pretty easily in some water.
Yeah.
Because he's floating, you can just be like, whoop, here, okay.
Yeah, they did great. And they had Caroline's super strength, so it was all good. But lowering Elena down, I was like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
But they did it correctly. And they pulled him out. His hair was all gray. He looked like 50-year-old Stefan.
He looked just so sad and messed up.
Elena needs that stone. There were snakes slithering around. She finds the box, but she's covered in snakes.
Yeah.
And then she gets pulled out.
Snakes on a well. Get these mother snakes out of this well.
Ooh, the ring meets snakes on a plane. Uh-huh. She gets out of the well. She slices her hand on a rock and feeds Stefan some blood.
Right. He's stronger now because he's been microdosing, but not enough to be just submerged in vervain for however long.
No. I mean, who could be? I wouldn't want to do that.
Nope.
Mason...
Because you're a vampire.
Yes. Mason says that Catherine is going to help him not turn anymore, and she loves him. And Damon's like, oh, now I get it. You're just stupid.
Right. And you know that, like, part of Damon torturing Mason is that Damon is jealous of Mason. Mm-hmm. Which Mason does say that, and Damon denies it. But he's like, Mason and Catherine are together? What? He's so mad. He's so jealous. And that definitely plays into all his, like, torturing and stuff.
Yes, I agree. And also I think Damon is like Mason 2.0. Like Damon was Mason.
Right.
And so Damon's just, Ash, this is self-hatred. Damon hates Mason because he sees himself in Mason.
Right. He's like, I was like that.
He's like, you fool. And so he's going to rip Mason's heart out. Just like Catherine ripped out Damon's heart.
Mm-hmm. See that? Now you're a fan. You're getting it.
I get it. Damon chokes out Jeremy and says, kill or be killed. And I said, that was last episode, bro.
Yeah, late.
Mason wants Damon to kill him, Damon says.
I don't agree with that. I think that obviously Mason doesn't like being turned into a werewolf once a month. Uh-huh. But I don't think he wants to be killed.
No.
He's just like a chill bro.
Yeah, how much rock climbing is he missing out on by shortening his life?
A lot. So much.
How much mudding, Ash? He could be mudding right now. But Damon rips Mason's heart out.
He really does.
The analogy and the irony.
I liked Mason Lockwood.
There were things to like about him for sure. You know, I think he could have been way more endearing, but then every once in a while he teetered off into, like, jerkery.
Yeah, well, obviously didn't like when he tried to kill Damon and Stefan, but I think overall he was a cool character. I liked him way more than I liked freaking Uncle John. Mm-hmm. And Vicky.
True.
And the Weatherman.
Yeah, Logan the Weatherman. Alaric and Aunt Jenna are making dinner and making smooches. And then Elena comes home and she like is fresh out the well. Mm-hmm. And Alaric's like making big faces like, oh, are you okay? Mm-hmm. And then she's like, yeah, I'm gosh, you know.
Yeah, I like that though. I mean, they're keeping it a secret from Jenna, but I like that you like have their little like combo. Mm-hmm.
Caroline tells her mother about what just happened. She's like, oh my gosh, and then we pulled him out of the well, and then she gave him the blood, and blah, blah, blah. And Forbes, you think...
And she just found out that vampires existed, like, a couple hours ago or whatever, 48 hours or something.
Yeah, and you think Forbes is going to be really mad about it, but actually she's proud of Caroline. It says she'll keep her secret. And I said, it took Caroline becoming what Forbes hates in order to get love from her. Mm-hmm. At least we were led to believe only one episode. Right. That they have such a terrible relationship, which we didn't see for the first season. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, but Caroline compels her anyway, and she gets her Oscar-worthy scene.
Yeah, but I also don't think that Caroline did a good job of compelling her because she said everything about her, like, compel her about, I'm not a vampire and this and that, but she wasn't like, I compel you to forget about Damon and Stefan and the murders in the father, what's it called? Uncle basement. Father basement. So, I mean, hopefully she compelled her those things too, but in the scene we saw, she doesn't. She keeps it, like, emotional.
Yeah, she's like, you're going to say you had the flu, and you're going to feel icky for a day.
Yeah, and we were bickering.
Yeah. She's so neurotic. Stefan got the Moonstone. Well, I guess Elena got the Moonstone.
Right.
Damon killed Mason.
Yeah, Damon's like, all of that for this, and they're just tossing around that soap.
Yeah. Stefan also got, like, some Coconut Dream bath soap from Bath & Body Works.
Well, he needed it after his skin almost burned all the way off.
Mm-hmm. Some aloe vera.
Yeah.
Damon calls Catherine on Mason's phone, and then I said...
And Stefan's like, don't do it.
Yeah, I said he regrets that phone call. He's like... He's being all Damon.
Yeah.
I mean, the events would have probably played out to a certain extent without him making that phone call.
Well, yeah, she would have found out that Mason died, and she would have found out that they had the Moonstone. But Damon doesn't even give them any space or, like, time to rest or, like, be excited that they went through all the stuff and got what they wanted. Mm-hmm. He just immediately tells the enemy. Like, that always happens we talk a lot about superhero movies in this podcast episode, but it's always like, you know, Batman has Joker, and he's like, and then they talk for like 25 minutes, and then Joker gets away or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like when you have the bad guy, they always just talk to them so much.
Yeah.
And then something happens where they either get hurt themselves or they get away or whatever, and it's just one of those annoying scenes where they should have just let it be.
Yeah, the cliched example also, which of course Austin Powers parodied, is Bond villains are like, now I've got you, Bond, and I'm going to explain my entire plan. But the thing that these Bond villains should do is like, oh, I got Bond, shoot him in the head, do my plan with the big laser and shooting a hole in the Arctic or whatever.
Right.
They never do that.
They never do it.
Like Bond would just be standing there and then he'd just be dead.
Right. And then there's no movie without that.
Exactly. Well, there's no whatever you were talking about with whatever you were talking about.
With Catherine.
Yes. Right?
I know. So, yeah, Damon calls her and tells her literally everything. Oh, your other boy toy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Elena.
He still has his feelings hurt.
The phone rings up at Elena's house, and when Aunt Jenna was on the phone and then handed it to Elena, I was like, who did Aunt Jenna think it was? Mm-hmm. Like, it's just Elena's voice telling her something, but then we learn Catherine was compelling her this whole time. Catherine talks to Elena on the phone. Mm-hmm. Says she'll always be one step ahead.
And she knew about her and Stefan, like, hanging out and stuff, and that they weren't really fighting.
Yep, I said, oh, Catherine is controlling Jenna, and then Jenna stabs herself in the tum-tum.
I know.
That was sad.
It was sad.
Jeremy and Elena are at the hospital. Oh, that was an act out, Ash.
Oh, yeah.
Jenna and Elena, after the break, we watched commercials randomly.
Oh, yeah. We just like chose some from YouTube just to make it feel real.
There was Allstate one, Bum 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 or whatever. We so don't watch enough commercials to even know it. All right.
No, we don't.
But anyway, after the 4 commercials we watched, Jeremy and Elena are at the hospital. Jenna will be okay. Oh, thank goodness, Ash.
Yeah.
I was nervous for a second.
She was bleeding all over her jumper.
Yeah, right? Her gold wasn't it like a golden jumper?
Yeah.
Catherine's mind compulsion. Mm-hmm. Jeremy says Catherine will pay. He's mad. He's so mad his lip is quivering, Ash.
I know.
That's like Ryan Atwood, like thinking about all the water polo players he's gonna punch.
I mean, he lost both of his parents and his girlfriend and his other girlfriend, and now his aunt's gonna die or whatever. Like, also he died. Every single person he knows is dying. He can't deal.
Then maybe, Jeremy, you're the problem. Ash, if you're at work and you come home every day and you talk about how Everyone's an a-hole at work.
You're the a-ho. A-ho.
You're the a-ho. Exactly.
That's the new term.
Maybe look in the mirror and then you'll see the real a-ho.
Hole.
Ty talks to Lady Interim Mayor Lockwood, a.k.a. Mom.
Mm-hmm. What does she say?
He's looking for Mason. He's been AWOL.
Has anyone seen Mason? That's what he's doing for the whole rest of the episode. They're like, hey, Tyler, you got one line. Say it like 6 times.
She tells Ty that Mason is headed back to Florida. She was hoping Mason would stick around. You know, now that your father's gone, I was hoping Mason would stick around.
No.
That's what I read. That's what I read from the scene.
She was wanting Tyler to have a father figure in Mason.
Mm-hmm. And she was wanting a daddy figure.
Ew.
Because she's not related to him, right?
I know, yeah, I know.
Elena visits Stefan. He's sad. He's very sad.
He's the most sad he's ever been.
Really? He wasn't more sad earlier?
This is the most sad.
All right. He's very sad. He's so sorry. Elena's like, Stefan, we did this. Jenna's in the hospital. We didn't listen to Catherine. And Ash, shades of season 1, we can't be together. Mm-hmm. Will they, won't they? We can't.
But no, they both agree to break up, basically. But Stefan's like, I can't. Did you see, speaking of lip quivering, so much lip quivering happening.
His face was squeezing in on itself. Mm-hmm. He looked like the son from Nip Tuck. Remember that?
Oh, no, he did not.
That kid, yes.
No, he didn't.
Little squeezed in.
No.
Yes.
No. He did not look like that guy.
We might have to do a...
No, he didn't. I don't like that at all.
2 very handsome gentlemen.
He did not look like that kid. And I like that
also,
scene so
F
much.
that kid.
No, it's Stefan was so emotional, and rightfully so. Like, he's literally in love with Elena, and basically because he's a vampire, and all this stuff happens because of him, and he takes everyone's blame on him, and he feels it all big, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, like, basically his heart is broken, and so is hers, and they're both so sad. And I think it's good when people show how sad they are.
Totally. Ash, they have one last kiss.
I know.
In quotation marks.
Okay, so you say.
Some sweet tunes are playing in the background.
Mm-hmm. It's always very emo.
Always very 2010. Big kisses and crying. Elena leaves very sad, but Damon sort of apologizes.
Yeah, well, Damon's also sad. He's not blubbering like Stefan, but he's also sad. It's his fault.
Yep, he wasn't thinking. She won. Catherine won.
Elena said.
Yep, and here's my Pete diction. Elena walks out of the Salvatore Bros' lives forever. And so there's probably like one more episode of this show.
Shut up.
And then the very end scene, Catherine talking to Matt, sending him after Ty until Ty kills him.
Because she needs a vampire.
Much like...
I mean, a werewolf.
She needs a vampire.
Sorry.
No, just like Damon sent Carter after Ty.
Yeah.
And
in the parking lot.
Yeah, until like he killed him or whatever he said.
Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly what
same energy.
That's what Catherine did to Mason in the bar in Florida with that guy that she told that he was cheating on his girlfriend, but she was making it up to turn him into a werewolf, and now she needs a new one.
She needs a new werewolf, but why? Probably she wants. All right. New Pete diction.
Okay.
There's some even scarier, shadowy vampire syndicate that Catherine is scared of. So she wants a werewolf to bite these scarier vampires. And we're going to see that Catherine isn't the top dog. She plays a mean game, Ash, and she can, like, play with these Salvatore bros on their little puppet strings like an NSYNC video. But there are older, more gnarled, scarier vampires who she's scared of. So she wants a werewolf to bite them.
Okay.
Also, she's going to bang Matt. She always had a thing for him. And while he's doing what she says, they're going to do some...
things that she also says.
Yeah, what? Spring squeaking or whatever I said earlier? Yeah. That's an official certified Pete-diction right there.
Okay.
Ash, Ty, we're still in the Pete-diction zone.
Yes, please.
Ty can't kill Matt. But will Caroline have to save Matt by turning him into a vampire? I can't see Matt as a supernatural being. He's too norm. Ash, I think that Ty will have to wrestle his inner being and he's going to have to fight his anger, not kill his friend, even though he wants to because he's so angry. It's about like going against your vices.
Right. Okay.
That's about it.
I like hearing the Pete-dictions.
When you're on a PD pod, there's a little game.
We didn't say our fangs, though.
Okay. You want to do that first?
Yeah.
Like
games is last.
we always juggle the
order?
You know, or maybe not.
No. I think it's usually Pete-dictions, fangs, and then game. Or maybe it could be fangs, Pete-dictions, game.
Let us know in the comments.
We're wild over here.
All right.
We got a hot mic.
This mic, Ash, I tried to touch it and that was my finger touching it. Ash, if you touch this mic, it's like, yeah, stop. I mean, I'm trying to
But
stop.
stop touching it.
Okay. It's like Will Smith in Men in Black.
Hot mic?
No. He has to put his fingers on that hot basketball to burn his fingerprints off because he's now an agent of the MIB. Ash.
I know the movie. I don't remember that part either.
You don't remember the montage where Will Smith becomes an MIB and he has to touch the basketball and it burns his fingerprints off?
They didn't have like a more formalized way to do that. It was just like, this basketball is hot.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a big metal orb. I'm just calling it a basketball.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's weird.
Ash, remember when he puts on the sunglasses and he says, I make this look good?
Yes.
Yeah, so good. How many fangs, Ash?
How many fangs?
I would give Will Smith in those sunglasses 2 hummina-humminas.
Okay, great.
All right, how many fangs,
How about
Ash?
for this episode, Pete?
2 fangs, Ash. 2 hummina-humminas also.
I was also thinking 2 fangs when it ended.
It surprised me that Mason got killed. The stakes were upped with Catherine. Good ending.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Matt. I never thought I'd say that. No, I
Freaking
kind of hope
Matt.
Ty kills him.
No, you don't.
All right.
They're setting up a lot of good stuff. But even though I'm so sad for Elena and Stefan, I do love like their love story and their emotional times, and those are good. Those are good parts of the show, and that makes me want to give it 2 fangs also.
Ash. Well, I'm not done.
Go ahead.
Okay, but you're giving it 2 fangs?
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
I was going to say about Elena and Stefan's relationship, if you went to the bowling alley and it was all strikes, it'd be kind of boring. You got to get a couple gutters.
Yeah, then you would be excited for the strokes.
Yes. Ash, I'm still talking about why it's 2 fangs.
Yes, please.
Alaric is a welcome presence now for some reason.
You like Matt. You like Alaric.
I don't like Matt. All right. Ash, the lady gang was back together.
Yes.
And they were doing it for themselves, figuring out how to save these men out here.
Saving men vamps.
I said it looked like the actors were having fun.
Absolutely.
Mason, Ash, they were like, we're a wrap. After his heart got ripped out, I bet they filmed that last. They were like, that's a wrap on whatever that actor's name is. And Mason's like, hey guys, so fun. The actor, so fun being here. Love you guys.
Thanks for killing me.
I feel like I have a bond with some of you brothers. Now I'm gonna go rock climbing with my carabiners. Looked like they were having fun. Ash, and finally the Kevin Williamson connection, which that should be its own segment. The Kevin Williamson connection.
Okay.
Jenna stabbed herself. Hey, spoilers for Scream coming up.
Yes.
Jenna stabbed herself in the stomach like Matthew Lillard in Scream.
Yeah, you're right.
And then also Skeet Ulrich showed up.
No.
Just kidding.
This is a random side note, but I meant to mention it earlier. I think that for Catherine's character, they finally got her a wig at the end of this episode because it was like really shiny. I feel like they were probably tired of curling Elena's hair so much.
Yeah.
And going from super straight to curly that they got her a wig.
I'm with you.
Okay. No, I was supposed to say that earlier.
That was very important to say.
It was. But I'm glad that you think it was Two Fangs, and I'm with you. I really, really liked it.
Two Fangs and also an in memoriam werewolf tooth. R.I.P. Mason.
Oh, yeah, true.
Ash on a PD pod, sometimes there's a game. If the Mystic Falls gang had a catering / party planning business. Since that's what they do every single episode.
They do.
What would it be called? I, of course, have a couple chambered, but you may think now.
Okay. It would be called Tall Ladder Hanging Bros Committee.
Tall Ladder Hanging Bros Committee. I like it.
It's a general name. I'm just trying to say words so we weren't waiting in silence for too long. Tell me one, and then I'll think of another one.
Elena's Events.
Oh, okay. Elena's Events is good. Teenagers for Hire.
Okay. Caroline's Catering.
Okay. Stefan's Surprises.
Oh, that's a good one. And my last one is Bonnie's Which Day Are You Celebrating?
Okay, let me try to think of one more. We didn't do Caroline?
Caroline's Catering.
Oh, yeah, Caroline's Catering. Oh, Damon needs one. Damon's Drink Service. All whiskey.
Sounds good.
And blood.
Bottle service.
Mm-hmm.
Bottle of blood. Bag service.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ash, I only got one thing to plug this week. I'm doing a giveaway.
You are?
I'm giving away a copy of Horror from the High Dive, and I teamed up with Dark Del over at Dark Delicacies in Burbank. Mm-hmm. He does an anthology of horror stories called Dark Delicacies.
Yes.
So I got a autographed copy of Horror from the High Dive. Mm-hmm. Autographed by yours truly, Ash. Can you believe it?
No.
Dark Del. He autographed Dark Delicacies. And then I don't have an autograph on the Collective Tales Publishing Collective Darkness
That's
anthology.
Okay.
It's hard to get autographs these days.
It is.
But go to @HighDive Publishing on Instagram, and you just got to follow a couple people, like the post, and you get those 3 books for free. There's going to be one winner. Mm-hmm. I'm not buying 1 million copies of these books.
That's how you enter, and then you might win.
Yes. It's going on until February 13th.
Ooh, spooky and almost sweet.
Yeah. So you won't get it in time for Valentine's Day, but you could be like, hey, Valentine, I got some books for you.
Yeah.
But hey, I've read all these books. There's really good stories in them. So go over to @HighDive Publishing, and you know what? You should be on there anyway. You should be following what's going on over there.
Yeah, that's where we post about the pod.
We do.
Check it out.
Check it out. Also, Ash, as you know, it's Freaky February.
Okay.
And on Fridays in Freaky February, there will be a new short horror story on the ko-fi.com/highdive publishing website.
Oh, nice.
Every Friday. There's one by me, and then there's one by a couple other authors from horror from the High Dive.
Cool.
On Fridays.
Freaky Fridays.
Freaky February.
Oh, yeah.
On Friday.
On Friday.
Freaky Fridays in February might be a thing also.
Okay. Both sound good.
I believe probably the first story will be Crab Feast.
Crab Feast is so good. You got to read Crab Feast.
And for all you crabs out there listening...
snip, snip.